Hello, hello. I'm just going to make sure that we are now live on Facebook because who knows what's happening. You never know.
I see it.
We are live. Hi, Charity. It's so great to see you. We've been trying to get together to have this chat for a couple of months, I think. I think the summer has been a little busy and I know I've been enjoying my summer. Hopefully you've been enjoying your summer too. But Charity, I'm so excited to have this conversation with you today because I think that this is the conversation that people in leadership are having, but they're not having with their teams, right? They're not having, the behind the scenes, like what it takes kind of thing. And so we thought we'd hop in here and talk a little bit about where network marketing has gotten us and where it's taking other people and how that word seems to be a dirty word in on social media these days, when really it's been such a blessing for so many if it's something that you want to make something out of. And so Charity, do you want to give it a go? And we're just we didn't script anything. We're just like, we need to have this conversation because we've been having kind of like behind the scenes conversations, and like Charity has an incredible mastermind where she coaches women in business, and a lot of the people that she works with are in network marketing, which now is evolving into affiliate marketing and all that kind of stuff, right? Like it's a constant evolution. And I also have been working with a mastermind group helping people break through some of their challenges in this business. And it's so interesting because we figured out the same thing. That, hey, wait a second. What people think is going to get them the result that they want is not what we did at all.
Yeah.
Create success. And so do you want to talk a little bit about that? We could just kind of go from there.
Oh my gosh, I would love to. And I'm so honored to be here with you. I have so much respect for you and what you do inside of the profession, for sure. And, it's interesting because I think we relate on this because, you are have created and are building an incredible empire inside of the network marketing profession. I have also, I did a tenure there, I guess is the right word. I did a decade there and built big business all around the globe. And, it's so interesting to be able to be, also kind of one of those people on the outside of the industry looking in. And then, we become great friends, obviously, along the way. And we have these conversations, right? Because we want to help people create change in their life. And what better vehicle, even as a person that's no longer inside of the profession, what a better vehicle than that of the network marketing vehicle, right? The network marketing profession. And so here's the thing. We were riffing, you and I, like we were in our own little bandwagon. Like, we're like, we don't need to keep this a secret though. I think we should maybe have like our little talk show for the people, right? And be like, what is it? We've said it before. I think sometimes we say it. Have you ever sometimes, Christina, said things in such a way that they almost lose their meaning? How often is it that we say success leaves clues? How often? But then as we say it, what happens is it begins to lose its meaning. And so as you and I were having a conversation, we were discussing some things. I think I called you one day. We were talking about some things and some things you had going on and some things I had going on. I'm like, girlfriend, I know it's been a second since I've been in the profession. So grateful to work with incredible leaders inside the profession and so on and so forth. But I'm like, y'all do still talk to people in the profession, right? Like y'all are still doing that.
Oh my God. And it's so funny, Charity, because you're not the only person I've had that conversation with over the last few months. People are like, so you're building, you're still active in this, we're branching out, we're doing other things, but you're still active. Yeah. And you're still building it the same way that you did before. You actually talk to people, you reach out and talk to people, right? Like you're networking, you're working. And yes. But maybe that wasn't clear when we first started this thing because what's happened over the past few years is that people have gone to marketing. And not to say anything wrong about marketing, because marketing is a beautiful thing and social media has made it quite a lovely thing that I can work in my pajamas. I love it a lot. Okay. But the thing about marketing is, let's just think about this for a quick second. It goes to the highest bidder. I was in a clubhouse room one day, and this is the perfect way to describe it. This woman was doing $1 million a month in sales on a product on Facebook, $1 million a month. And so everyone's like, how do you do it? How are you doing it? And she's like, yeah, but I spent $500,000 a month on ads.
Right? $500,000 on ads.
Yeah. So I just want to put that out there because instantly I was like, and this is what people are up against when they're posting and praying. when they're in their story, when they're thinking that their marketing and their videos is going to get them the result they want, they're going to go viral. They might go viral on TikTok, by the way. They might. It's like a lottery ticket, but they're thinking they're going to go viral from these incredibly well thought out posts that took them, 10 years to come up with. And the truth is, they're not talking about it. If you're learning something today and you want to learn more, click the subscribe button below, and I'd love to see you again.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that part of this conversation that we're having is from a place of really wanting to obviously not downplay the power of marketing. Marketing is phenomenal.
Yes,
it will multiply your business 100-fold, right? But the important part is that most people that get started inside of the profession, I know I wasn't a marketer when I got started inside of network marketing. I was an average person. You know what I'm saying? And so
I still am.
You know what I'm saying though, girlfriend? Like nobody was following me around even looking for like business advice. Like I was known for like having the best pickers, you know, and like my attitude, I was like Cruella de Vil. Okay. So I mean, like I had a long road ahead of me, and so I'm just
roads are longer than others.
I feel like we are having the conversation because it's like, how do we, get more out here and have this conversation that ensures more people has the results that network marketing can deem for them? Because yes, is it a business in a box? Absolutely. A business in a box. It's a personal development plan with a compensation plan attached to it. And so how can we, the average person getting in, even if you were like me, broke, busted, and disgusted, Cruella de Vil, kind of thing, how can we
that way, by the way?
It's the truth. I promise you I'm not lying. Oh, my Lord. The Lord did a work in me. But but I'm so serious. I mean, because the reality of it is like, I think here's the thing. I think I really care about this too. And I think you do too. I know you do, is because network marketing to us is a profession. It truly is a profession. And I think in teaching people to simply post and pray, yes, we talk a lot about what works, but it's also on what duplicates. And if you've got the average person coming in, I think it's important too that we are treating this profession like what it is. Like I said, a profession. I was talking to somebody the other day, and as you mentioned, Christina, I'm no longer inside of the world of network marketing per se. Okay. Did some great things there, blessed my family, and this isn't me toot my own horn or nothing like that. I'm just saying, I was talking to somebody and I was like, they were asking me some questions, and I said, yeah, I said, what were you doing before you were doing this? Well, built a network marketing business all around the world, generated multiple millions and millions in sales. It's like that. It's like, because the word network marketing was associated with it. It's like, it just, you ever had that before where like, it doesn't even resonate? Like they just kind of, I don't even know what like comes to their head. Like if it's just like, oh man, that must've been a lot of mascaras on the back of your trunk. Like, I don't know. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I'm like,
yeah. Yeah. Or people are like, oh, you've really talked to all of your friends and family about this, haven't you? And it's just like, actually, that's not what this is about at all. It's actually about helping people and showing people a different way of doing business and doing life. And I think I mentioned this to you too a little bit earlier this morning is, I was in this mastermind with a bunch of leaders and learning from these leaders. And this couple came in and they said, we belong to this millionaire mastermind where we want to create wealth. It's really wealth building. So we belong to this millionaire mastermind, and all of these millionaires are in there, and we saved up our pennies, and we're totally not the people that are millionaires that are in that group, but they go around to everybody and they said, how did you start your business? Like, how did you start with millions? And either they came from a wealthy family and they had $250,000 to $500,000 to invest, right? Or almost 90% of them got into network marketing, and their advice was get into network marketing, find a company and a product that you align yourself with, that you love, that you can't wait to tell people about. Get into it, make your way to the top of that company. And once you do that, you will have the skills, the personal development skills, the communication skills, the leadership skills. You'll be able to build any business you want, and you'll have the income to do it. Now, does everybody do that? No, absolutely not, because you hear about the success stories few and far between, because sometimes, people are lied to, and they come into and I don't mean in a malicious way, but anybody can do this. It's totally easy, like no big deal. No. If you're going to build a big business, you're going to build a big business like you would with any other thing. You've got to be focused. You've got to have a plan. You've got to have goals. You've got to do the work. And I find that really interesting because now people, a lot of the times they come out of university or post-secondary with a degree and they don't know how to build a business on top of that nutrition degree. They don't know how to build a business on top of that personal training degree or what, or course or whatever it is that they take, because they don't recognize that networking is at the base of every business. Referrals, right? Growing your reputation, asking for referrals from your customers. It takes time, work, and energy. It doesn't happen like that, right? The most successful people I know are not overnight successes. They're like 10 years of grinding it out because they wanted something more.
Absolutely. And I love how you talk a little bit about, you said, it's not, that is the thing. I think someone's like, come on, girl, it's easy. You just got to post. You just got to put this post up kind of thing. And I think that it's the thing. It's like, can we teach people how to monetize post? Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Like a boss, you know what I'm saying? You're still going to need to have a conversation though, most likely. You're still going to want to connect. You're still going to want to solutionize with that other individual. You know what I'm saying? Is it easy? No. Is it simple? Absolutely. I think it's interesting too, how you speak to that, you sat with those people that were like, well, get inside of a network marketing company and the different ways that they created their wealth. And I agree with that 100%. Because I'll tell you, I was looking for something different whenever, I was on the search for getting off the rat race wheel, right? I was in the military. I was broke, busted, and disgusted, BRK with Eon Layway. I'm laying in bed. I'm like, here I am in my 20s. And I was like, God, I used to be told growing up that I could be anything I wanted to be. And I'm like, oh gosh, like reality slapped me with a 2x4 because all of a sudden, I honorably served in my country and I'm so grateful for that experience. Lord knows it sure did teach me some things. But I was like, is this what this looks like? Getting up, going to work. The Army told me if they wanted me to have a family, they would have issued me one. I'm like, how do I get off of this rat race? Like, is this what my life looks like? And so I'm like, but that seed money, I didn't have the seed money. My husband was like, well, we're going to open up some Subways. And I'm like, okay, that's cute with my good looks. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't have no rich relatives to you.
That's something you're not telling me.
I'm like praying. I'm like, God, just send us something, Lord, something. And, lo and behold, here enters network marketing. I was like, Lord, that's not it.
That's not it. No, that wasn't it.
That's not what I'm praying for. But here's what I'll tell you, okay? The vehicle of network marketing, I find, is honestly, it changes truly. I believe this with all of my being, that it changes truly the trajectory of people's lives, that it can drastically change, and I witnessed that. I've lived that. I helped, and yes, you did too, as you are, right? In the same way that you're doing the same thing. You're seeing people's lives change all the time. And so, but here's the thing, and not everybody will say this, I'm sure. But for me, the profession of network marketing, 100% was an answered prayer. 100% was it my first choice? No, ma'am. It was not my first choice. But in a lot of ways, in that season, it was my last chance.
Yes,
it was my last chance.
Yeah.
And 100%, 100-fold the skills, 100-fold. Thankfully, I partnered up with some people that didn't just say, well, you just got to go make a post on Facebook. No, man, like I'm kind of old school and I get it. Some people like, they're like, well, how do you do some of the stuff? Like, how'd you do it? And I'm like, well, I can't tell you probably because you'll be scared.
Yeah, you might not do it.
No, I won't be scared. I'm like, well, here's what I did. I was really bad before I was good and I was good before I was great. And I said, what I did, I remember I got out like my annuals. I know this is crazy, right? I got out my yearbooks. I'm like, who can I help change their lives? They put out a promotion. I remember, girl, listen, I was broke. I was like, BRK with it. $20 was $1 million. And so they were like, if you put 2 new people in your living room. Yeah, I'm a part of that crew. Now, do I love what we can do online now? Yes, absolutely. Do I think that it is absolute? Yes, we can do big things online. But I do come from that cloth of like, we had PBRs, and I'm not talking about Pabst Blue Ribbon. We had private business receptions, and it was like, if you can invite 2 people with a pulse.
I did the meetings too. I did business meetings. I went to other people's houses and did the business meetings. I handed out postcards around my neighborhood like I was a mail lady. Like, I was that person. I was like, I got to tell everyone, I got to do this. And when I got on social media, this will freak people out. I'm going to freak them out right now. Oh my God. I was talking to 50 to 100 people a day. When I started, when I wanted to go big, because here's what happened. I didn't have another option. I had a shoulder injury that was excruciating, and I could no longer do hair anymore. And I was pregnant, and I was freaking out. I was like, how am I going to have this baby and have no income? I love my job, but like, what is going to happen? And by the way, I was also like, not when I was pregnant, but like, I was also like bartending on the weekends. You say Cruella de Vil. I was the girl in the corset and the short shorts, the knee-high boots. I was like, let's make me some money. Like, let's do this, right? And like those days of like $400, $500, $600 nights on a good night in 4 hours, like when bartending, those days are over. And I was like, Mama can't go back to the bar in those heels. Like when I'm mom, like I can't go back to doing that life till 3 o'clock in the morning. My husband was still doing it as a career bartender, right? And like we were tired, man. And I just thought, how are we going to get out of this? How are we going to do this? Because I can't do my job anymore. And now I'm scared. Right. And I'll never forget seeing this girl's post scroll by, and she was like, she just made 5 figures her first month in business. She was a girl that used to come to the bar all the time. She's a house cleaner. She literally, and I say this with respect because she said this the same way. She's like, I literally scrub toilets for a living. And now I saw this post for her, and I'll never forget it. She's sitting at the beach with her kids at the beach while I'm sweating my you know what off in the salon, like doing wedding hair every weekend, not getting a summer. She's sitting there at the beach making money with her kids. And I'm like, what? Yeah. Like, I don't care what it is. Well, it has to be legal. It has to be legal, right? But I don't care what it is. I will do whatever you want me to do to have that life. If I get to have that life with my kid, if I get to be at home, if I get to do that, and then you and I have been around the block long enough to see other people do that. And when you get to experience somebody else that you've brought into a business, change their entire life, leave their corporate job to be home with their kids, or not have to go back to work after maternity leave, or there's a special people, you'll do anything for them, right?
Absolutely.
You got to be honest about what you're doing and who you're talking to and how that works. And people are so scared of that these days because there's so much negativity that goes on online. That's why there are only a handful of people at the top, because they got over their crap. They weren't scared. They weren't scared about the projections they were going to get back, the messages they were going to get back. If somebody had a bad attitude that day, they didn't care because they knew that this saved their family. They knew that this was the thing that changed the lineage. Like my family, my dad is a blue collar worker. My mom was a home care nurse. Like that was my family. And I just wanted more. I wanted like a better life for my daughter. And how was I going to get that if it didn't come from money?
That's right, sister. And here's the thing. And let me tell you what, though, you're being that example, though, like that is such a compelling why. And I think that that's part of the issue. The strength of your reason will determine your season. Right. And so like, look at how long you've been in this and that you're also helping other people do it. And it's with that conviction that you've taken from your head. You got to get outside of your head. You got to get inside of your heart. That's what you are, as a heart centered leader 100% of the time. And I think so often it's like, you got to be more afraid of not getting it than you are of it. Like, how willing are you to get outside of your way? You know, it's Jim Rohn. I know we share like a love, like a man crush for the late Jim Rohn, you know, he's the bomb.com, you know, but he talks about, you know, look, you know, I can't remember exactly what he says, but he's like, you know, I'm getting like 6 out of 10 or 7 out of 10. He's like, if that's not one of you, then that's fine. Or, you know,
right. Like, who cares? Who cares? Because you're looking for those special people that want more. And guess what? This last couple of years, there's a lot more special people out there that need more, that want more. And it might not be the big bucks, but it might be $500 a month that shifts and changes their family so that they can do some of the fun stuff now.
That's it.
Right?
That's it.
Like, that's all that people need. But we who wanted more out of that could have more. And there, that doesn't happen unless you've got a degree, you've got a connection, you've got, you know, Ivy League friends, you've got a parent that hooks you. Like, it doesn't happen in that kind of situation anymore. You got to make your own luck.
There you go. That's it. I mean, that's it. I mean, you know, I think like it really does come down to like, you got to recruit yourself first. You know, how much do you really believe in what you're doing? And I get it, coming into something, in the beginning, you know, you have all these different things. It's like, you know, your little doe, you know, with the just learning to walk, you know, kind of thing. And it's like, where can you collect receipts though? Where can you collect receipts? Because here's what it was for me. If they can do it, I can do it. You know what I'm saying? How often have you adopted that mindset along your pursuit? So many times.
All the time. And I still looking ahead, like if they can do it, I can do it. If they can do it, I can do it. It's like the little engine that could every day, actually, I think.
It's like divorce the result, so to speak, and fall in love with the process. You know, tell me yes, tell me no, tell me something, I gotta go. And it's not from like a empathetic, it's like, I got things to do. Like, I'm moving. Like, is it you? Okay. Is it you? Okay. Is it you? Okay. Let's go. I got things to do. It's not from a place of, you know, not being sincere. I mean, I truly believe it is being convicted about your cause and recruiting yourself, remembering, like, why did I put my information in to begin with? You know, back in the day, we used to write down things. You know, I know nowadays, you know, people put their little information in these computers and things. But, you know, like, why did I do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, why did I do that? Like, why did I do that? And, you know, like I was saying about Jim Rohn said, you know, I don't want it to be later on that she said, you know, we never got a call, never got a letter. It's like, this is your call. I'm calling you.
We're here.
And you gotta detach from, like, if they tell you yes, or here's what you got to do. You got to see through what you said you would do long after the feeling or the emotion leaves you.
Absolutely. There are days that you don't feel like doing it. And my mentor says Sinaloa, safety in numbers and law of averages, right? What you don't have in skill, you can make up for in numbers. And like you said, you have to be willing to suck. I still suck sometimes. Like, I still was like, what were you thinking that day? Were you in a hurry? Like, what is happening? You know, but you got to be willing to suck before you get better. And the only way through it, like I always say this with Izzy, like, you can't go over it. You can't go under it. You have to go through it. Like, you have to go through it. And so many people aren't willing to make the mistakes and learn the lessons, but hey, that's what life is all about. And if you adopt that growth mindset where you're constantly up leveling your skill, you can look back and be like, oh man, remember when I did that, and laugh a little bit about it, and then move forward. And it doesn't matter, because people take so much like judgment and embarrassment and whatever. Like, what? You're out there doing what you love, working with people that you love on a mission that you cannot help but spread, and you're having fun doing it. So who cares? Like, really, either people are with you or they're not with you, and that's okay. And so many people get beat up by the people that are like, no, I don't want to do that. I assure you, it was not our first choice. I assure you that I was like, multiple days, I was like, am I really doing this? Am I really going to post on social media? Am I really going to do this? Yeah, I'm going to do it. Why? Because I want more for my family, and I want to be able to create more, right? And that's what brought us the opportunity to be able to have different businesses, to be able to branch out and do other things, right? And follow our passions and our goals and our gifts. And that's what you created too with your business is you may not be in the field anymore, but man, the gifts that you got from the field are the things that have helped you into who you are now.
My gateway, 100%. Give absolute so much credit to that profession and to the mentors that I had and all the things, man. I mean, here's the reality of it. I know that might sound cliche, but it's the truth. You know, like, it's painful being broke, but it's painful getting outside of your comfort zone. I mean, you got to choose your heart, right? Like, that's what you got to do. You got to get eye to eye with that and be like, is it really going to matter to me that much about what Susie's going to say? If I'm like, hey, girl,
I'm doing this thing, like, do I really care?
Do you really? You know, like, because I think that you become prisoner in your own mind of what other people's opinions are that don't even pay your bills. Yeah. Now, can you get better? Can you learn to communicate better? Can you learn to connect better? Can you learn to ask better questions? Absolutely. It's funny, you were talking about, like, we look back on things, and like sometimes I'll have, like, you know, on this day or whatever, and it'll be like, on this day, and I'll have said something like, I got 2 spots.
I got 2 spots left. Come on, man. I got 2 spots left. I know, but it's all the things that you're taught when you're learning marketing. You're learning marketing. I actually saw, and I'm going to be honest with you, I saw an influencer do that the other day, like a little, and it was awesome because she was like a little throwback. I got 5 women that I'm going to run with right now. Now, granted, this is what I want to say is that this woman, I admire her to pieces. She's incredible. She has a multi-million-dollar coaching platform. Like she's the bomb. She's written a bunch of books. Yes. She's amazing, right? Okay. But she could send out an email to her email list or into her community and enroll a ton of people and not have to reach out to a soul because she took the time to build that credibility. She took the time to build that business. She took the time to get an email list and a Facebook community. And she's been adding value for years, you know? And so what people don't understand is there's people like her out there that are excellent at what they do. They are the top recruiters in their company because they've built their reputation and character, right?
They didn't just fall on top of the mountain.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. They just lucked out that way. Right. Like that. And that's what people think. And it's like, no, there are many different ways to do business, but not everyone can do business like her because not everyone has the stamina to run a multiple $1-million business on top of, and, you know, not everybody has that drive. I mean, I look at her and I'm just like, wow, you're an incredible human. Like you can produce like crazy. And on the other side of it, there are people that look at her and be like, well, I could never do that. No, you can if you do a different activity. And that different activity is what she did to build that multi-million-dollar business, right?
That's right. That's right.
Look, was her talking to hundreds and thousands of people. It took her putting herself out there and talking in live video and getting out on stage and doing things that were wildly outside of her comfort zone to be able to build that kind of network. And so now when we talk about Facebook ads, it makes sense on that side that they would have the income and all that kind of stuff to do those things. But what we love and what's being lost right now in this is that the average person can build a big business. The average person can go out there and make a few $100s a month if they want quite quickly without having to learn any extra skills. Just by talking to people, just by sharing stuff, just by doing a few things. And if you've got, you know, a desire to do that, then why the heck not you? Why not you? And finally, at some point, might not be this video, might be one in a year from now, it'll hit you and be like, oh, I've been thinking about this for way too long. I don't want to die at the end of my life not knowing what could have been.
That's it right there, sister. That's it. I mean, people see the glory and they don't know the story. They want what people have, but they're not willing to do what they did. And when they hear it, they go, oh, no, that ain't it. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, you know, maybe I know you're such a great, like, you're an expert at this and you're creating, like, you know, 6-figure earners, like, all day, every day. So, like, people that are watching this, I'm just curious, what would you say, like, the 3 things would be for somebody just getting started? Like, if I just got started your business, I was Corella Bill from back in the day, you know what I'm saying? Like, didn't have a lot of influence, just set up a Facebook account. Usually what I posted on my Facebook account was like, you know, Bears touchdown or getting some brewskis tonight. Like that's what I typically posted, or come to my kegger or F you. You know,
come to your kegger for sure.
If you rolled somebody like that, which I ended up being a rock star, by the way. Okay. So don't sleep on those people. You know what I'm saying? We all got a journey, but what would you say? Like, you know, like, yeah, people are being like, I won't say deceived, but they are falling underneath this like trance of like, oh, this is all it has to be. And I'm not saying there has to be just this one way either, but like, what would be your tips? What would be your top 3 tips? Because I share this inside of my community and stuff too. So I would love for you to share.
Yeah. You know, people always say, put your mindset first and then they get wrapped up in mindset stuff and don't do the work. Right. So they kind of go hand in hand. And, you know, it's funny because I just broke this book out again, The Greatest Book in the World. Right.
Yes.
And so like I often will pick that up when I'm having a day and like pick the right scroll. Right. And so it's funny because you can turn your mindset around at any point in time. It's something that I teach my daughter, even like she decides that she's going to be in a mood because we said no about something. And I'm like, okay, but you can choose to be in a mood and be upset, or you can choose to be happy right now. And later on, when I said it was okay, then it's coming up. So, you decide, do you want to spend your afternoon miserable, or do you want to spend it happy? Do you want to be proactive or not? And so having that, having like your mindset right in partnership with your action, I think is really important. I still have a DMO, a daily method of operation, that I go by every day, and a minimum that I do every week. And regardless of the outcome, because I'm going to be real honest right now, in the industry, things are a little crazy because of what's going on in the world, right? And so I'm still, even though, I definitely had like bigger enrollment months for myself and all that kind of stuff. What I've done is continue talking to people, even though I don't sit in the corner and be like, nobody wants to do this with me. And like,
are you sure?
I see, right? Like, no, I really don't. I'm like, so I just see it as, hey, you keep putting one foot in front of the other, one foot in front. It is inevitable that you will win if you do that. And if you have the discipline to do that, that's all you got to do. Like, I don't even need to give you 3 tips. Like, that's it. It's just like getting your mind right every day, filling it with positive stuff that's going to move you forward, and grabbing those things, those tools, when you get in a place that you start to beat yourself up, or you've been defeated because somebody said something mean to you because they're having a shit day. Like, I don't know, but it's being in that active alignment and recognizing there's a bigger piece to this. It's not, hey, I'm talking to people. It's, hey, I know what this did for me. I know what this has done for people that I work with. I know what this has done for you. I could change somebody's life today, like it's changed.
Yes.
And so I'm doing a total disservice if I don't show up for those people and at least ask them.
That's it right there. And how would you show up? In person, online, like all the things, right?
All the things, yeah. Like, also like having those conversations. Go ahead. Yeah, having those conversations is so important.
I think that people get inside of their head about that conversation though. Like they're like, like we'll have a conversation right now that they'll be like, man, you got to remember doing this too. Okay. Because I did this. All right. And that's why I can relate so much to people, even to this day. You're like, you're having a regular conversation, but then all of a sudden, like, you join network marketing, like you're used to having conversations, you join network marketing, you're starting your own business. You ever done this before where like, you'll just be like a mental ping pong. You're like, I'm going to bring it up in a minute. I'm going to bring it up in a minute. Maybe I can bring it up now. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I'm going to do it right now. Oh God. Yeah. Talk to her. Like, just go do it right now. Like
the mental ping pong. You know what I'm saying? Right. So like, I think that the start is what stops most people, because they'll get so inside of their head. They don't want to do it wrong. So what would you say to people that are in that place?
You know what? Here's the thing. Like, you can't say, I remember saying that to a mentor of mine once. And I said, I think I'm too much for people. Weird.
Yeah, that's why we're friends.
Right. Yeah. And so she's like, but you can never say the wrong thing to the right person. Right. And so like, people are so weird on social media because they forget that they're actually a human and having a conversation like you would in person. And so the best example I can give you is I love going to the Saturday market. We go, it's like a farmer's market. We get our veggies, we get tacos, it's amazing. So we go every week. And so like, I start to get to know the people that work in the booths, right? Like I know this person and that person, I'll go talk to them. We bought these really cool wax coverings and bags to hold, like, so that we don't have to use saran wrap all the time. And so I started talking to this woman, and she's got a kid and whatever. And I was just like, tell me about your business. And you have like a normal conversation with people, and it can come up. Right. It's so funny because I was like, why don't you add me on Facebook? Like, I love what you're doing here. Like, I'd love to support your business. However, I can support your business and give you a shout out. Izzy and I did a little story about their business, right? To help, because just do good in the world. Okay. Like, let's just start there and do good in the world. And so she adds me on Facebook and she goes, oh, I know you. You're in like the mom groups and like you do videos, right? Like, and sometimes there's share like funny stories or stuff with my daughter that I learned from, right?
Yes.
And so I was like, yeah. And like, we'd never met in person before, but she's part of my community. And you just don't know when those conversations are going to come up. And if that little voice inside of you says like, say something, I invite you to just listen without thinking of the next step. And say something and just say, hey, and just start a conversation. And it doesn't need to be transactional. It doesn't need to be about my business, your business, this business, whatever, right? It doesn't need to be like that. It's just like, hey, I'd love to connect with you. Like, how can I help you today?
That's right.
Together, No,
I love that so much. Like, and here's the thing, we don't know what other people are praying for behind closed doors. Like, we really don't. Like, sometimes, that's just the bottom line there. I think that just as far as online and things like that, I'll tell you something that even has even been a deeper level for me, even is just like even more so getting aligned with like that mission, that vision, that values, like why am I doing this? Like who am I showing up for? Like why am I passionate about this? And then authentically, which you are a master at this in your authenticity. I just want to tell you that, but showing up in that authentic way, because here's the thing, from a social media standpoint, having all those boxes checked, because you will attract, in that regard, you will attract your people. I believe we already have, assignments, right, to people that we're meant to help them along their journey. I think that for people that get stuck, just to piggyback a little bit on what you're saying, because everything you said is just freaking fire. All right. But absolutely. And those people that get inside of their own head, it's like, you're an excellent example of this, set the intention of in person or online, getting connected with people, connect with them, listen to serve them, right? What if we did that more, rather than, because I think the reason that people get inside of their own head is because they're attempting to take something in their own head. Or if they would flip the conversation and think like, man, I want to listen and ask questions to serve. How can I leave this person better than I found them, right? How can I offer to help them? And your regard, you're like, connect with, on social media. Like if I can share your business out, like you are listening to meet a need. And will that evolve? Most likely, yes. Yeah. Right?
Yeah. Absolutely. And I think here's the other big piece of it is have respect when you reach out for people, right? How are you different than the 10 other people on social media? Okay. How are you different than the 10 other people on social media in that person's inbox? How are you reaching out to that person, having respect for them and not like saying, hey, do you want to make an extra, like, no, stop asking that question and instead say, hey, I have no idea if this will be something of interest to you, like possibly not at all. But hey, I couldn't help myself and reach out and I didn't even know if I should reach out to you or not. But, I started this little thing and it's been really great for my family. And I don't know if it'll work out for you the same way it's worked out for us because you can't guarantee it. Like the people you're talking to are smart. You can't guarantee that somebody is going to make $500 a month with your company. So I don't know if you're going to have the same results or not. I don't know if you're going to do that in a month, a week, or a day. No idea. But if you're looking for something like that, are you open to having a conversation? Right?
Yes, that's right.
And if not, hey, that's totally cool. I know it's not for everybody. Perhaps something else will come your way that you're looking for that's more in alignment with what you want. Right?
That's right, sister.
Like, see how kind that is? Nobody can be mad at that or disheartened by that. And if it's not for them, it's not for them. No, like really no big deal. If it's really not for them. But it could be the one person that needs this. It could be the person that is praying for this, that is hoping for this. And when you speak to people and you're like, oh yeah, you're absolutely going to get the results, or oh my gosh, like this is guaranteed.
Or you'll crush this. You're going to crush this. You need to do this. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah. And it's just like, but are they going to crush it? And now you've set them up for failure in a month when they haven't done anything. And then they feel like crap because you haven't crushed it for them because they put that pressure on you. And it's not like that. It's just looking for people that are like-minded.
That's it. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So absolutely. I always like to go from a place of edification, identifying the elephant in the room. Sometimes when people are uncomfortable, like which is exactly what you gave that example. Like, hey, look, this may or may not be for you. That's okay. Maybe you've got a bunch of Pamela Andersons up in your inbox. Like, I understand I might be coming off that way, and use voice memos, right? Because then they can hear you and feel your energy, right? And then just asking them a question. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because I think that's the thing. It's like we just want to ask the question, pop the question kind of thing, and then get on with our lives, because rather than saying like making statements, I've found that questions are so much more impactful. Have you?
Yeah, absolutely. Having learning to listen and ask questions and ask better. Actually, it's so funny that you say that because I have this book. Have you ever read this book, QBQ?
It's been years, but I have. It has been
it's
years
on my desk right now, and I've listened to it a couple of times. But it's learning to ask better questions and realizing right now what your audience wants. Like, do you know that right now pitching product, your most valuable product right now to people is $500 a month that they can make in the spare pockets of their day while their kids at music lessons, while they're waiting in the lineup after soccer practice, while they're going through the grocery store lineup. That is the biggest commodity right now. I mean, look at DoorDash. Look at Uber.
That's it.
Look at those things, because people already have a car. They already know how to drive. They're already going to their friend's house. They might as well make $5 on the way by bringing somebody else a meal, you know? And so it's really understanding what's going on in this gig economy and being a part of that, positioning yourself so that you're a part of that, because it is the best gig out there. It is the best gig out there, right?
What do people want inside their head?
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
I mean, that's what I feel like you're saying.
Yeah. Well, that's just it. And so you got to figure out what people want right now. And they don't want to have to start an online business. They don't want to have to learn all these things. They just want to go out and use and be brand affiliates. They want to use a brand that they love. Could be a clothing brand, could be a supplement brand, could be a dishwasher brand.
Well, here's the thing. Aren't we already doing it all day? Like, don't we do it all day anyway?
Absolutely. I just bought an album. I just bought an album off of iTunes yesterday, because a friend of mine posted the album cover from our mastermind group. It was Erin. She posted the cover, and I was like, yeah, I'll buy that. Like, I didn't question anything. I was like, I like that band. You said it's great. Okay. I like went and bought it. I didn't ask any questions, because people don't care about that anymore. They either want it or they don't want it. They want it or they don't want it. So why are you so sad when people say no? Like, okay, they don't want it. But,
or why are you like withholding like your good secrets and goodness too? I mean, like, if you knew like down the street gas was 10 cents cheaper, you would like, I mean, I'm going to be a good friend and be like, hey, you know, if you drive just 2 miles down the road, you can get gas for a better price. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are we withholding that from people? You know, like we ought to be ashamed of ourselves.
Oh, that's just it. Like, it just, to me, it was like so stinking simple. Like, it just made sense to me that I'm like, I use this already. Now I get paid to use it and get it for free. Okay.
There you go.
Like, it just was common sense to me. Right.
Yeah. Shop from your own store, that kind of thing. So, and you guys have a big store with what you guys do. So, I mean, that's quite convenient.
It is quite convenient, because it's like checks all the boxes, right? I know, it's brilliant. Anyways, Charity, we've been on here almost an hour. I got to do another in 5 minutes, but
absolutely, girl. It's my privilege, my honor.
I love you.
You are a rock star. You sure are.
So are you. And I just feel so blessed that we got put in the same place at the same time and that we got to meet, because man, you just bring so much light. Every time I see you show up on social media, I'm like, there's my girl. There she is today, just spreading light.
And that's what we do, girl. That's what we do. Right. Absolutely. All right, sister. Well, I love you so much.
I love you too.
And yeah, I'll see you soon, girl.
Let's do it again. Unscripted.
Okay, let's go. Bye.
If you think this video can help a friend, make sure you share it.